are Inside Africa Network. Our vision is exploring Africa.
It was foretold by our ancestors that in times of great conflict, there will be the chosen who will rise to restore harmony to the people and creatures of Yorubaland.
You are the child who was blessed by the first father. That is the prophecy of the chosen.
Warriors, corrupt leopards!
All right, if you are with me on the show today, remember you're not losing anything. This is Inside Africa Network on Kaftan TV. And remember, here we'll bring to you information, entertainment, and education, always at all times on all of our programs. You're welcome to the show today. This is Entertainment Africa. And my name is Bills Victor. I feel like hugging you. I feel like really shaking hands with you right now because a lot of you have been giving me feedbacks, commenting, we've seen you subscribing to our programs, and it is beautiful to always have you on the show today. Thank you so much for being there. You're welcome once again. Today is a movie review. We want to talk about a particular movie. Even though it's an anime, it's what we call a cartoon, it is something you and everybody needs to watch out and check. And in this movie, there's something called chlorokinesis. Chlorokinesis. You really need to want to know what that is. You have to stay here on the show. I'll bring you a very beautiful musical piece as a short break session. And it is by Yemi Alade, and the song is called You Are. And when you come back, we'll talk a little bit more. You're welcome up to the show again.
We are Inside Africa Network.
Inside Africa Network.
Art is life. Director, cut. Sorry, Conti. Is it art is life or creative art is life? Okay, I'm ready now. Creative art is life, and that is all we are about. Come with me. May I introduce you to Kika, Kaftan Idea Box Creative Academy, a modern creative school with the state-of-art equipment. We offer film-making education technology, music education and production, dance and performing arts education, content production and media education, management, leadership and good governance, AI and ICT education. For inquiries, call 0703 084 0298 or visit our social media handles at Kaftan Idea Box Creative Academy. It's Creative Revolution.
Simple child of greatness hidden in your heart. Can you hear the voices calling from the stars? Crying out for a leader, rise up from the clay, growing stronger and stronger. Can you hear them? Can you hear them say?
You are welcome back to the show. The song you just heard is by Yemi, our own very Yemi Alade, and the song is called You Are. And it was actually made for this particular movie. The movie is an anime. Like I said, it is a cartoon movie, and it is something you will love. Let me talk a little bit about animes, cartoons, and the real life movies we actually act. Growing up, I used to think cartoon movies, animes are actually very simple, very easy to make, until I decided to grow up a little bit about finding out things for myself. And then I get to find out that animes and cartoons are actually very difficult to produce. It requires sometimes large number of specialists. I mean, hundreds, sometimes 200, sometimes 50, sometimes fewer than that. But it requires specialists to take care of these things technically before we can get our cartoons and animes out. Now, let me give you a little bit short, very short, light breakdown on how these animes are actually made. We have the digital animation, which is the CGI, which is the computer generated images. It is actually images generated by the computer to produce these animations, these cartoons. And we also have the traditional animation, which is done by just drawing with your hands, literally drawing these images with your hands. And this drawing actually requires you to draw them frame by frame. How difficult? Now, you want to make a feature-length cartoon movie, you have to draw these images one by one differently, and these characters in different frames. Now, this is what I mean. If you were going to draw me as a cartoon or make me move as a cartoon, if I was a drawing right now and I want to salute you, you have to draw me in different frames as I raise my hand up to my forehead or up to my nape. Now, this is it. I want to salute you, and you are to draw me as an animation. You have to draw me in different stages, from here, up here, up here, and here. Those 4 different stages. And these drawings are actually placed on a cell. Something called cell, like the celluloids, yeah? It's actually a transparent kind of leather like that, where you snap these images and then you place them on it and then you play them. And then they place like a movement. It's actually give you an illusion of movements. And it is like 1, 2, 3, 4. I get movements like that. Even though you cannot really see them move as images, you see them move as one image. That is how it is actually made. And then we'll have the 3D animation software. This is actually software you use to create cartoons, like the Maya, like Autodesk, like Blender, like the software called Toons. They're actually used to create cartoons and animes. We also have Pencil 2D. Pencil 2D is actually drawing these images on the computer and adding effects. You see how difficult it is? It requires specialists, it requires professional technicals to actually make this happen. So wherever you see cartoons, you see animes, appreciate them. Now let's go back to our movie. I told you I was going to talk about chlorokinesis. Chlorokinesis is the ability to control plants, roots, stems, leaves, the soil, and even moss. And this is actually an energy, the power someone has in this movie. The movie is actually about a little girl called Iyanu. Iyanu is actually the name of the movie, which means wonder child. Now, Iyanu is actually a child who's actually blessed, but this blessing actually, to some level, looked like a curse to her in her community. Now, this community is called Ilu. It is actually a fenced community. The fence has been there for over 500 years, and it is to enclose the people, the last remaining humanity in this enclosed fence. Now, it is because there are some entities, some dark demonic entities that are called fallen ones, that actually came to the earth and possessed every animal. Now, possessed them, demonic possession, and made them beasts. Every kind of animal, from the rat, already the snake is already dangerous. So imagine getting possessed by the fallen one. And all of these animals get to attack human beings at all times. So there was a fence surrounding this community. And the only people outside this fence were people who were the outcast, or people who were actually sent out of the community for exile. You get? So there were few people outside this fence, and the whole community was in the fence. Now, Iyanu was this girl who was trying to find out what kind of person she is, what kind of power she has. But because the community thought she was dangerous, community thought she couldn't be among them because of the extraordinary power she has, she was sent outside the community. Now she stays with Olori. Olori is the last priestess who is of the group, of the Ogoni group. She's the last priestess of the Ogoni group, and Iyanu stays with her outside the fence. And Olori was just this person who was helping Iyanu hone these powers, get to find out the powers, get to grow in these powers. Now, one beautiful thing about this movie is that the cast, the food, and everything is really Nigerian, is really African. It is a beautiful piece from Yorubaland that you would really like to enjoy. Now, the movie actually carries Iyanu to some different level, where she had to be alone in this forest trying to find herself with Olori. Now, sometimes Olori leaves her in the forest alone. She gets to find things for herself and get to fend for herself. Sometimes she goes into the city to play with the little kids, but then she gets mocked and sent back.
The source, you must master all three.
The chosen cannot reach the source. As long as she breathes, you will always be powerless. No!
How are we going to get to the source?
We trust each other and work together as a team. Team chosen. Team chosen.
But then, the king of Ilu, which is this community, later died. And when he died, the community went into confusion. You know, there was panic everywhere because he was a powerful king. There was panic everywhere. Everyone was so afraid. And then they decided to go after people they thought were threats. And then decided to go outside the fence to go find Olori and Iyanu, who was said to be a dangerous child. And Olori found out that this is going to happen and it's going to be really, really not good for Iyanu. She decided to fight the warriors that were sent to them. And now, in the process of fighting, Iyanu ran away deeper into the forest. Now, Iyanu was alone in this forest trying to find out more about her powers. And then during all of this, she got to find out that she is actually the chosen one. She has these powers in different levels. She could control the natural, she can control the unnatural, which gave her the supernatural power. Now, this supernatural power gave her the ability to fight these animals that were possessed by the fallen ones, until she got to fight this tiger, this blue-eyed colored tiger that was really gigantic, and she actually won by taming him. Now, her supernatural power was the ability for her to tame these animals each time she gets to fight with them. There's something she does, and these animals get tamed at all times. And now this animal called Eku is now her best friend that she has only in the community. But over time, I'm not giving you everything in the movie. I want you to go watch the movie and love it. This movie was actually released on the April 5th on the Cartoon Network, and it's going to be released on the 13th of June in 44 different countries. And I bet you even the West, even the white people are actually interested in this movie. It is all over internet. Everybody's talking about it. It is something you should go look for and watch. It was actually created by Roy Okupe with the help of Godwin Akpan. And a whole lot of people are involved in this movie to give us a piece of the history and culture of the Yoruba people. You know, I really like the fact that in this movie, they ate pounded yam and goat meat. You know, there was a little bit of African dishes in it. You know, the attire was for African. They had beads, they had rappers, they had different type of looks that involves African. There was nothing foreign in it. It was really African. And let me tell you one of the things I love about this movie. I love the fact that we are trying to portray our cultures in every movie we are shooting out right now. Remember in one of our reviews, I told you that over time, we will take over the movie industry. When I mean take over, it might not be in totality. It's just like the way Afrobeats has taken over the world. It could be that African movie itself will take over the world if we keep working on this space or at this space. A whole lot of people out there are actually interested right now in Nigeria. Go to YouTube, you get to find out people want to know about Nigerians, want to know about Africans, want to know about our accents. And one of the things I like not to forget about this movie is the accent rather. The accent in this movie is actually really Nigerian, really African accent. And it is something you really want to love and watch. Now, Iyanu actually ended up having a friend, Biyi and Koi. Let me tell you something about this movie. The cast in this movie, very interesting cast. When I came across this movie, I never expected this cast in this movie. Now, let me tell you, Sarah Johnson played Iyanu, and Okoye Jude played Biyi. Now, Biyi is one of Iyanu's friends that is from the city, from inside the city. His dad was actually a general and wanted him to be a soldier, but B was not interested in being a soldier. He just wants to use reading of books to actually teach people and be with people and all of that. He was actually interested in using his books to actually reach out to people, right? And Samuel Kubiyi acted Toyi. Toyi is one of Iyanu's friends. She had two other friends, which is Biyi and Toyi. Now, Toyi is from outside the fence, outside the city, one of those people who were said to be the outcast from the city. And these are people you actually know them you actually know these people in movies. In our normal movies you watch every day, you know these people. They were the one who acted the cast in this movie, the voiceovers you heard. Now we have Adesuwa Etomi Willington. That is Banky W's wife, played the role of Olori. Remember I told you that Olori is the woman Iyanu actually stayed with in the forest, that helped Iyanu hone her powers in the forest. And Blossom Chukwujeku, you know Blossom, he acted as Kamfo, the father of Toyi, the general who expects Toyi to become a soldier, rather not be. And then Ekun was this magical tiger I was talking about. Now, this movie is actually a beautiful piece. Go celebrate your own cartoons. It took a long time. It took quite some time. I think a couple of years, I think 2-3 years to actually create this movie and bring it to life for us to see. The most beautiful thing about this, that it sells our culture. It sells our history as Africans. I will implore you, I'll ask you as Africans that if you want to create something like this, make it your culture. Make it your thing and make it real. Now, I've come to discover that whatever you do in life, you put in that reality, put in that your real self, it sells even more and even better. The movie is Iyanu. Let me let you watch the thriller, and when we come back, a little part of the thriller, when we come back, we'll talk a little more, and then we'll end the show.
It was foretold by our ancestors that in times of great conflict, there will be the chosen who will rise to restore harmony to the people and creatures of Yorubaland.
You are the child who was blessed by the first father. That is the prophecy of the chosen.
Warriors, corrupt leopards!
The inners are terrified because the corrupt are becoming bolder, making them even more dangerous. I know what fear can do to people. That's why I'm training you to use your powers correctly. And that begins with understanding the source.
As the chosen, you have a trinity of powers. Unnatural, natural, and supernatural. They build on each other. So to get to the source, you must master all three.
The chosen cannot reach the source. As long as she breathes, you will always be powerless.
No!
How are we going to get to the source?
We trust each other and work together as a team. Team chosen. Team chosen.
Apple Japa! Happy now? Mango head. You scared Toyi.
Actually, I'm not. You know what's really scary? You're snoring.
I do not snore.
All right, you're welcome back. I hope you enjoyed a little part of that trailer. And for me, this is something you should really actually go out for. Go get it everywhere. I think it's everywhere where you can actually find movies. You can get them there. And remember, I told you that on the June 13th, it will be premiered in 44 different countries. And the joy of this is that it sells our history as Africans, it sells our culture as Africans. And follow up, just go on, find it, and never you underrate cartoons or animes, because it takes a lot of energy, a lot of people, it takes a whole lot of expertise and specialists to make this actually happen to us. The movie, again, is Iyanu, and it means Wonder Child. Go out. Go get it. This is Inside African Network on Kaftan TV. Remember, we'll have some of the programs coming in. Stay here. Do not move a muscle. Relax as we bring you more interesting programs. Thank you for staying here, and I love you.
The chosen. Thank you.
We are Inside Africa Network. Our vision is exploring Africa.